all the dots for you. I've got Ian waiting very patiently to be officially added to group chat. Welcome, Ian.
Hiya, Poppy. How are you?
I'm all right. I didn't expect an accent. Where are you from?
Can you not tell? Come on.
Oh, Scotland.
You got it.
Scotland.
My
You know,
daughter's
sometimes.
called Poppy, by the way.
Sorry?
My daughter's called Poppy.
Oh, it's a very strong name. It's a very good name.
Yeah, it's a Welsh name, isn't it?
I didn't know that, actually. I did not know
There you
that
go.
because I'm not Welsh. So you learn something new every day. When I hear Scottish accent, my brain does this fuzzy thing where I think Irish and then it has to kind of recalibrate. And I'm like, no, Poppy, that's Scottish. Ian, are you seeing a demand in young people wanting to invest abroad?
Yes, absolutely. We are getting so many inquiries every day from young people who want to invest abroad, 100%. I've noticed that there's a huge increase in people in their 20s and 30s that are either considering relocating if they want to move abroad, or maybe they want to buy a holiday home or an investment property overseas. We're getting a lot of inquiries at the moment also from people looking for homes, especially in Dubai. Dubai is extremely popular at the moment. After that, I would say Spain, Italy and France are some of the other popular countries at the moment.
Now,
Go on.
is Dubai, is influencer culture driving investment in Dubai?
Oh, 100%, yeah. You've got all the Instagrammers and things over there. You've got celebrities that are going there on holiday and everyone's always
Yeah,
posting
I almost
things.
knew the answer before I asked you, but I thought, let me ask to just get it officially from you. So it is influencer culture. Why are people investing abroad, be it Dubai, Spain, and so on and so forth?
There's so many reasons. People want to own property and they don't want to put all of their eggs in one basket. So they don't want to just have a property in the UK. So they will look overseas for variation. But it's difficult to get on the property ladder in the UK, as you've already been speaking about earlier in the show.
Yeah.
So folks are looking at other countries for other options.
Is it more expensive abroad? Is it not more expensive abroad? No.
Compared to London. London's like the most expensive property market in the world. So if you're looking at, cities like Dubai, again, I'm talking about, then you're buying for a fraction of the price.
What about
the
outside?
terms are
So
all better
with the
too.
exception of London, is it still cheaper to invest abroad than it is, say, in Manchester or Leeds or a big city that is not London?
Yeah, and again, it depends where you're buying. If you're buying a property in Spain, you've got lots of different regions in the costas, which are really popular, that you can look at. You could buy properties in places like Fingarola, Alicante. People are buying in certain parts of France, Normandy, Brittany. Those places are all cheaper than,
Right.
your average property in Manchester, for sure.
Right, okay. And are you finding people are investing, not necessarily living in these properties?
Yeah. Most people who contact us are looking to invest, to have something overseas that they might use sometimes on their own. Other times what they'll do is they'll, rent it out full-time, rent it out short-term, maybe use it a little time of the year themselves, put it on Airbnb or Booking.com the rest of the year.
So, Ian, for our group chat listeners who are thinking about investing abroad, what are the do's and don'ts when looking for a property abroad?
Would obviously do compare the market, look at comparisons the same way you would in the UK. Visit the location if you can. I know that your guest earlier on, was it Faria? She mentioned that people buy unseen. People buy unseen overseas all the time as well without going there. So you can definitely look at comparisons. Visit the location. If you're buying off plan from a developer, make sure that you check their track record to see what they've built in the past, to make sure that they've got a good history of construction. Use a local property manager to manage the property for you. Use a solicitor in the country where the property is located. So you obviously cannot use a solicitor in London if you're buying a property in, say, Italy.
And at the moment, is it better to rent out a property? So if you buy in Dubai or Spain, you rent it out for a portion of the year and then you live in it. Is that kind of what you're seeing people are doing at the moment?
No, I would say that most people are buying them and just renting them out full time currently, but what their end goal is to ultimately try and move to the place, because you've got all these digital nomads and things at the moment. People that are working from home and they think to themselves, well, hold on, I'm working here in the rain, in a rainy country, in a cold country. Lifestyle's not that great, but I could literally work on a beach somewhere. I could move to that location in the next year, 2 years. So they're buying something now, renting it out with the view to move into it in the future.
And do you think lockdown has sort of exacerbated that situation because it's made people realise, look, I can do my work soon. If I've got a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection, I can pretty much do my work anywhere in the world.
For sure. Definitely. I mean, lockdown has made a lot more people go online, so they're looking and realising that life is short. Why do I want to just, live in this one place? I could have a home in this country and another one in that country. I could spend 6 months here, 6 months there. So
Ian, you're making me dream. You're making me dream. I'm now thinking, a place in Spain. Faria,
there you go.
What are you thinking about right now? Has Ian turned you? Do you want to invest abroad?
I'm afraid, I must say, I really want to. I'm quite nationalistic when it comes to buying in Britain and buying British. So I must say, I love the idea of buying abroad. But because myself, I don't have family links abroad. I'm no employment abroad. I think that it wouldn't be suitable for me to even consider buying abroad. And I just love London. I want to stay here. I probably won't ever be able to buy a property here, Poppy. But one can dream and hope. That's what
one can dream and hope, Faria. One can dream and hope. I mean, are you finding when people are coming to you, are they saying anything about potentially investing abroad?
I mean, I do have a few clients who do have got their holiday homes abroad, and that's about it. Because a lot of my clientele who are coming along, they are basically trying to find their home or family home or the movers or the additional homes in London itself. But it's very rightly said that now we differently, especially in the pandemic, where there were a lot of jobs before the pandemic where we can never ever think of working from home. And a lot of those people are working from home and doing very efficiently. So it has opened up a lot of different, avenues to explore, and this would be one of them. So if we can work from here, why not work from Italy?
Ian, how much is a decent 2-bedroom flat in Dubai?
It depends what area you're buying in. So it's the same if you're looking at London, you might say, well, how much is a 2-bedroom flat in Mayfair compared to how much is a 2-bedroom flat in Harrow?
Yeah.
So if you're buying, for example, one of the strong residential areas is a place called Jumeirah Village.
Yeah.
You can pick up a 2-bedroom flat there for around 200,000 mark.
Wow. Okay, that sounds affordable. That sounds all right.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? With those ones, you can actually pay the balance of it over 10 years without even getting a mortgage because you're doing developer financing. You're paying the developer over 10 years. You cannot do those types of things here,
Right. Okay. And what about a 2-bedroom flat in Spain in a nice area?
Again, it really depends what you're buying and where. I mean, you've got really exclusive areas like Marbella, Porto Banús, which are super popular. Some of the parts of Madrid are really popular as well. But if you're looking for something, I've seen 2 bedrooms go for about 80,000. Recently, 80,000 euros.
Wow.
Some of them even cheaper.
That is extraordinary. 80,000. That's a deposit for like a flat in London, isn't it?
Well, there you go. But you're also, if you're talking about cheap properties, I've seen some in Scotland. If you're thinking of crossing the border, you can pick up low-cost flats in Scotland for like £20,000 and things.
Wow.
25,000. But obviously they're not in the best areas. But, if you're looking for a rental return, but there's a lot of bargains. I've noticed in the show a lot of you guys are talking about London, but London's a very unique property market, and it's a little bit of a goldfish bowl. But there is a big world outside of London,
I agree with you.
Does anyone want to buy property in Bangladesh, Ian, or Pakistan or India?
That's a very good question.
Absolutely. I've actually got a property for sale at the moment in Goa for one of my clients.
How much is that going for?
She's a Londoner. She's of Indian origin, obviously. You have to be of Indian origin to buy out there. So I think from memory, that one she's selling for, I think it's around about 60,000 or 65,000, but she's going to accept the balance of it over 15 years.
Wow, that's extraordinary. Ian, do you see, sort of in the foreseeable future, do you see this becoming a thing?
It already is a thing.
It already is a thing.
Yeah. You're just missing out. You need to look out there and see what else. Look at the bigger picture. The world is a small place now, You can be in Australia tomorrow. So
when did you start noticing this trend?
I've been involved in the international property market for over 20 years, but it's snowballing and it's getting bigger and bigger. People are looking to buy homes abroad, whether it's just to grow their own portfolios or whether it's to immigrate or whatever. People are becoming more ambitious, I think, and less tolerant. And, I've got a lot of people that want to move overseas to get away from crime levels in places like London. I've got one guy who has just bought a place out in Dubai. Again, I keep mentioning Dubai, but it's because it's so popular. But he's just bought a place out there, and the reason why is because he wants his kids to be educated out there and moved away from inner city London.
But are some of your clients, Ian, quite loaded? And are they not normally second homes? And they can, I assume they can uproot their families and their employment and lives accordingly.
It's a complete mixture. It's a complete mixture. You've got people who cannot afford to buy properties in the UK.
And so they're looking at Dubai and Spain and Italy.
Yeah, various countries. They'll look at different countries around the world and they'll think, okay, well, I cannot buy anything here in the UK. Therefore, you know, if I've got X amount of money, well, what can I buy somewhere? You know, and if that property then goes up in value quicker, can I then use that money to bring back and buy another property in the UK? So that there's so many people with different strategies.
I've got a question from a listener. They said the flat, if you buy property, if you invest property in Dubai, do you own it? You mentioned something about paying off the developer over 10, 15 years, but is it your flat?
Yeah, absolutely. It would be recorded at the Dubai Land Department. And that's the equivalent of the land registry in the UK that you have. So in Dubai, they've got the Dubai Land Department, so the person would be recorded there as the owner. Most of the properties in Dubai are freehold, unlike England, where most of them are leasehold. So there is a couple of leasehold regions in Dubai, but the majority of it is all freehold.
Faria, Amit and Ian, thank you so much for coming on Group Chat. I think it is quite a difficult topic, and I think all three of you have really broken it down and made it really, really simple. So thanks again for coming on Group Chat.